Joey Aguilar and Chris Brazzell have been nothing short of amazing so far in the 2025 season, yet they're being completely and utterly disrespected by the rest of college football. Frankly, I'm not even sure how it's possible. Even being a Tennessee fan, even being used to the disrespect. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. Speaking of 17 plus 6, can we beat 23 subs off of today's video for Brazzle plus Joey? If you love what they've been doing, and if you love daily videos, all for 100% free, that's what you'll get here right at Tennessee Football Talk. If you haven't joined us yet, now's the perfect time to do so. We're growing like crazy, but we're not going to stop growing anytime soon. Subscribe right now. Alrighty, you heard it off the top. I am sick of the Brazzle and Joey disrespect. Now, there wasn't a ton of respect on their names going into the season. And I think that was fair. It was warranted, right? Joey had only been at App State. Brazzle had only been one season at Tennessee where he was good, but he wasn't spectacular. But I feel like after 5 weeks of both those guys putting up the numbers that they have been, people will be talking a little bit more highly of them, okay? I'm going to start with Chris Brazzell. Brazzell might be the best wide receiver in the country. I truly believe that. I would not be surprised one bit if he's the first wide receiver taken in the 2026 NFL Draft. And if he's not, it's probably going to be Jordan Tyson. And if it is Tyson, it better be Brazzle right behind him. If you're looking across all of FBS, he is top 5 in yards per game with 106.2. Behind Danny, Mario Craver, Mekhi Lemon, who's had a phenomenal season, Cade Harris, and then, of course, you see Chris Brazzell right there. If you're just looking at the SEC, and again, we're looking at yards per game because I get it. Some teams have played 4 games. Some teams have played 5 games. This is just the easiest way to look at it. Mario Craver's at the top of the conference, but then Chris Brazzell's right down there below him with 106.2. Look at A&M. Lots of representation in that top 5, Omega Blake and Ryan Williams rounding that out. But if you just look at how many times they find the end zone, let's look at that, right? That's a good metric for how good a wide receiver is. How many touchdowns has he scored? Well, nobody, except Jordan Tyson, has scored as many or more touchdowns than Chris Brazzell throughout the entirety of this season. He leads the country with 7 touchdowns scored. And I also want to remind you that a 59-yard touchdown was wiped off against the Mississippi State Bulldogs just last week. If that offensive pass interference, which I think was one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life, if that doesn't get called, he jumps up to 3rd in the NCAA in yards per game and 1st outright in touchdowns. But the crazy thing about all of this is per usual, like we've grown used to, he's getting no national love. Like, none. And I shouldn't be surprised. We're Tennessee fans. We're used to this type of stuff. We're used to every single one of our recruits losing their 5th star about, halfway through their senior years. We're used to our quarterbacks who have Heisman caliber seasons, who get hurt at the very end of the year, not even being Heisman finalists, and guys like Stetson Bennett going to New York over them. I'm not salty about it still. But this, in my opinion, it's ridiculous. If you look at the current Heisman odds, and right now, there's no odds for the Biletnikoff Trophy, but we can look at Heisman and just assume it translates into Biletnikoff. Jeremiah Smith leads the pack of wide receivers at plus 1,000. Ryan Williams, he's not far behind him at plus 8,000. And then Chris Brazzell is way far down the list at plus 18,000. This is unbelievable that Jeremiah Smith and especially Ryan Williams have far better odds than Chris Brazzell. And we'll just say to win the Biletnikoff Trophy. If Ryan Williams, and I tweeted this out, I believe it was Monday afternoon. If Ryan Williams or Jeremiah Smith had his same numbers, had his same stats, his same plays this season, they would be the odds leaders to win the Heisman Trophy. They'd be number 1. I promise you, because of the name value that they have. There's a reason they're on the cover of NCAA. Ryan Williams has had a horrible season. He's 2nd in the SEC in drops. He can't catch a football. And he doesn't even compare compare to Chris Brazzell. Neither of these guys do, to be frank. Brazzell has more receptions. He has higher yards per game. He has double Ryan Williams' receptions. He has 27 yards more a game than Ryan Williams does. He has almost 4 times his amount of touchdowns. And yet, when you look at the love for winning the award for best receiver in the country, if you look at his Heisman love right now, and I'm not arguing he needs to win a Heisman Trophy, I'm just using the Heisman odds as where he's looked at nationally. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But the good thing is we've seen this before, very recently in 2022 with Jalin Hyatt. And through the first 5 games of the season, Brazzell's actually doing better than him. Now it helps a ton that Hyatt had that wonderful day, the third Saturday in October, that juiced the touchdown numbers up 5, juiced the yards up 200-something. Regardless, Brazzell's off to a hot start. And we shouldn't be surprised he's not getting any love. But I just think it's almost impossible that they're not looking at him as one of the best wide receivers in the country because every metric says that. And he's having a different season than Jalin Hyatt. Jalin Hyatt was just naked and wide open. It felt like time after time. Chris Brazzell's catches, they all seem contested. They all seem like they're unbelievable. I can't say good enough things about it. What do you think the percent chance that Brazzell wins the Biletnikoff is? Scale it for me 1 to 100 down below in the comment section. I honestly don't think it's bad. I think he at least should be a finalist. I think he will be a finalist if this keeps up because what we saw during Mississippi State, he's kind of the only wide receiver we've got that Joey Aguilar can trust to catch the ball every time it's thrown to him. I'd probably put it at 30%, maybe 20%. But if his name was Jeremiah Smith, I'd put it at 100, if I'm just being honest with you. Coming up, we talked Heisman odds a little bit with Brazzell. Now we're going to go to them a little bit deeper when it comes to Joey Aguilar, and they are infuriating. Promise you, you're not going to be happy about them, so stick around to see them. Before that, though, make sure you guys go down to that link. It's in the comment section. It's in the description of today's video, chatsports.com/UT hoodie, where you can find this hoodie for just $22. Very excited because exactly 1 week from today, I will be in Knoxville, Tennessee. I imagine I'll take a trip back to campus, kind of soak it in. Haven't been there in a little while. I think it's been almost 2 years since I've been in Knoxville. And I'm probably going to take a trip to the Vols shop. I love the Vols shop. The thing I hate about the Vols shop is it's a little expensive. You won't find a hoodie that looks that good, that's that cheap in the Vols shop. I can promise you that. $22, $33 off, chatsports.com/UT hoodie. All right, now let's talk about Joey. I know we talked about Joey on Tuesday, and we talked about Joey a lot on this channel because he's been phenomenal. Unfortunately, the national media in Vegas doesn't think he's been quite as good as we do. If you look at the Heisman odds via DraftKings, Dante Moore is in the lead at plus 750. Ty Simpson in second at plus 850. Then ridiculously, you see Jeremiah Smith in there at plus 1,000. Carson Beck, Fernando Mendoza, Trinidad Chambliss, Diego Pavia, Sam Levitt, Julian Sand, and then right at number 10, you find Joey Aguilar at plus 2,000. And having Simpson and Pavia ahead of Joey is just absolutely diabolical. Especially having Ty Simpson up as high as you do. And even having Diego Pavia only plus 250 higher, still, in my opinion, is disrespectful. Sure, the numbers might look a little bit similar, right? Diego actually has a better completion percentage. Joey has more yards. Same amount of touchdowns. Joey has more picks, but let's be real. 3 of those interceptions bounced off of wide receivers' hands. So the numbers, they bear pretty even, except the yards in Joey's favor and a couple things in Diego's favor. But what I'm most impressed of is when you look at the schedule, it is no debate who's had a tougher road ahead, and yet still Joey, in my opinion, is playing better football. When he's had to play Syracuse, Georgia in week 3, on the road to Mississippi State. Now, yeah, he's had a couple cupcakes in there with ETSU and UAB, but that's no Charleston Southern, no Georgia State, no Utah State. Virginia Tech, they're horrible. They had to fire their coach already. At South Carolina, pretty good win from Diego Pavia there. I'll call a spade a spade. All that to say, I cannot wait for the game this year against Vanderbilt. Usually, it's one of those games. It's the day after Thanksgiving. I'm excited. I'm watching, but it's Vanderbilt. So I'm like not as locked in as I usually am. I was last year because a win meant a playoff berth, but you get what I'm saying. I'm sure you feel the exact same way. But this year, oh my goodness, I'm probably going to set my alarm for 5 o'clock in the morning just so I can stare at my TV and wait for this game to kick off so everybody in the world can see that it's not even a comparison between these two quarterbacks. Give me Joey Aguilar all day long and twice on Saturdays. Twice on Saturdays. He's a better leader. He's more selfless. I think he makes better plays with his arm. He's got a better deep ball. And he's done it against tougher competition as well. I don't need to see anything else. Should Joey be top 5 in Heisman odds? A yes or a no down below. I think he should be close to the top 5. I think somewhere around 7 to 5 is probably right for Joey. Maybe 4 to 7. You let me know in the comments section down below by giving me a yes or a no. That's going to do it for today's show. There's my social media, at Joey Petersen8, TikTok, at Joey_Vols. I'm getting close to 1,000 TikTok followers. I'll make sure to put the link to that in the comments and in the description of today's video. If you give that a click, it'll take you to my TikTok. Give me a follow. And if you want to see pictures of me and my wife, pictures of me and my dog, then you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well. That's going to do it. Really, really love getting to do these things every single day for you guys. The best fans in the world deserve the best coverage in the world, and that's what you guys get right here at Tennessee Football Talk.